สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. We'll go to those who come in first, but if someone wants to ask questions, we might allow them to come in and ask questions also as we go along. So our first participant tonight is Alvin from Malaysia.
Namaskar, Ajaan. Just listening in and got any question. Thanks.
Okay. Alicia Chan, also from Malaysia.
Ajaan, I don't have question for tonight. I want to say goodbye to you. This Saturday, I will go to a local monastery for meditation. I also plan to meditate at a cemetery, and that's my practice. I will be back in about a month. If I have any question, can I come back to ask for your advice?
Yes, you are welcome to come anytime you want. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Go to Jordan from Bangkok. Okay, Jordan, you're still in. So, Jordan, you have to unmute your microphone first.
Good evening, Ajaan. Sorry about that. I found my stay at Wat Yan last week very beneficial. Thank you so much for having me. And,
you're welcome.
I have a question I wrote down for tonight here, and I'd like to ask, so why is it important to contemplate that painful sensations in the body are dukkha, and how are they dukkha, and how does that help us?
Well, painful feeling, painful sensation in your body cause you to have stress, and you want to get rid of the stress. So you have to know how to deal with the painful sensation of the body in order to eliminate stress from your mind. And the cause of our stress in the mind is because we want to remove or get rid of the painful sensation in the body, which we cannot do because it's not under our control. It's anicca, anatta. And so the way not to create stress when you have painful sensation of the body is to leave the painful sensation alone. Then you will have no stress. Because it's anatta, it's not under your control. You cannot tell it to go away, get rid of it.
Mm. So I found that when I was contemplating, I was sitting with painful sensations, and I noticed that even my contemplating them was sort of an attempt to still had desire to get rid of them, and when I noticed that, I was able to just instead just go back to my meditation object, and I found that there was less suffering.
That's right. Just leave the painful sensation alone. Bring the mind back to mindfulness, to your meditation object. So the mind can then stop creating stress by having the stopping the desire to get rid of the painful sensation of the body.
Okay. And how can we contemplate that the painful sensation is dukkha? I guess maybe you just answered that way.
Well, nobody wants painful sensation. That's the problem. But we have to have it because this is the nature of the body to create this painful sensation. And in order to live without any stress is to understand the nature and accept it for what it is. You don't want to accept the painful sensation of the body. We want to, every time we have it, we want to get rid of it right away. But either taking painkillers or do whatever you can. If you have to move your body to get rid of it, you do it. But there will be times in which you will not be able to do anything to get rid of it. And that's when you're going to be very stressful. So if you know this and you try to teach your mind to accept the painful sensation by doing meditation, by putting the mind fixed in your meditation object, such as mantra, to stop your mind from reacting to the painful sensation, then you can stop the stress in the mind, which is much more painful than the painful sensation of the body.
Okay, thank you. Another question is, how do we contemplate that painful sensations are anicca? How are they anicca?
Then we have three types of sensation: good sensation, bad sensation, and neutral sensation. Right? They keep changing from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. You don't only have one sensation. When you're hungry, that's painful sensation. When you have a meal and you're full, you have a good sensation. When you're not hungry or full, then you have neutral sensation. So this sensation keeps changing due to the changing conditions that are affecting them. And you cannot always deal with them, cannot manage them all the time. Sometimes you can and sometimes you cannot. If you're hungry, you can have some food and then you can get rid of the hunger. But if you happen to be somewhere where there's no food, what you're going to do? So you have to use dharma. Dharma teach you to accept hunger, pain, and learn to live with it. That's why we practice fasting, just to prepare the body, to prepare the mind, in case it gets to the point where there's no food for it to eat.
Okay. And then after we've developed appana samadhi, that ability to contemplate becomes much easier. Is that right?
It's not so much the ability to contemplate, but the ability to withstand any cravings when they arise.
Okay.
You have upekkha. So when you have painful feeling from the body, if you don't have any upekkha, your mind will want to react, want to stop the pain, want to get rid of the pain. And then this will create stress in the mind. But if you have ubekkha, you have appana samadhi, and your mind will not react to the painful feeling of the body. It can leave the painful feeling of the body alone and not creating stress by leaving the painful feeling alone.
Okay.
See, when you say contemplate, actually what it means is to study the nature of sensation, that it is under the law of the three characteristics of existence. It's constantly changing, anicca. Anatta is not under anybody's control. If you try to control it, you'll get stress or dukkha in your mind. So you don't want to get any stress, just leave the sensation alone. Let them come and go as they like.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you very much.
Okay. That's why when we practice, we want to expose our body to more painful sensation. So then we can then learn how to cope with it. But for people who don't practice, they don't want to expose their body to painful sensation. They want to live in the comfort zone. And then they will be in trouble when they run into a painful feeling in which they cannot get rid of, because they haven't practiced how to deal with this painful feeling. Okay.
When I'm able to sit with a painful sensation, and I find that the suffering, the mental suffering, becomes less, it's quite a relief.
That's right, because the real pain is in the mind. The stress in the mind is much stronger than the painful feeling of the body. Once your mind has no stress, then you can withstand any painful feeling from the body. Your goal is not to get rid of the painful feeling of the body. Your goal is to get rid of the stress, the painful feeling in the mind, which is created by your reaction, your desire, or your craving to get rid of the painful feeling of the body.
So get rid of the craving, the desire.
Yeah, just leave the painful feeling alone. Let the painful feeling of the body alone. They come and go by themselves. You don't have to do anything. They come for a while and then they'll be gone, replaced by another type of feeling. And then they'll come back again. This is the way they work throughout our lifetime until we don't live, until the body dies.
Because they're not in our control.
Not all the time. Sometimes sometimes our remedy can become a problem in itself also. When we use drugs to get rid of the pain, then we become addicted to drugs. And when we don't have drugs, we get more stressed again. So it's not good to use any type of drugs to deal with your painful feeling of the body. It's better to use meditation and wisdom. Three characteristics of existence. Apply the three characteristics of existence to the sensation, to the painful sensation.
Okay. It's the Dharma medicine.
Yeah, that's what we call the Dharma medicine.
Okay.
That's why a lot of forest monks, they don't go to hospital. They don't care for any medicine. They use the Dharma medicine. And they live long. Some of them live to be 100 or so.
Wow. If someone passes away, taking that final examination of seeing if they can let the body die without mental suffering, you think it's likely that in their next lifetime they'll be able to continue the Dhamma work?
They probably won't be in the next lifetime for them. They'll probably finish their work in this lifetime. Once they can go through. Yeah. Unless there's something unusual happen, like an accident or something that caused death to the body, then they have to continue in their next lifetime. But if they can continue on living normally and no accident happen, they'll probably get rid of all their problem within this lifetime. They can stop rebirth within this lifetime. They won't need to have another rebirth.
Mm.
Because they see the Four Noble Truths, they see the three characteristics of existence, and they know this is the tool to deal with all types of stress. Okay,
Okay. Thank you, Tamajan.
all right. Go to Marcia. Marcia, where are you now? Ohio, if I can remember correctly.
Yes, I am in Ohio. It's amazing you can keep track of all of us. Thank you. I had a question about awareness. I've been trying to situate the mind in awareness, and I've been watching how the dynamic between the knowing and the object. And I wondered if you could talk about how to separate the knowing from the object. Even when I'm doing mindfulness of breathing, it seems like a part of the mind is right in the object, and that creates a stress. And I'm thinking about also thinking about the statements in the forest tradition of coming to that unentangled knowing. If you could just talk about it and give some tips.
Well, first you have to understand the mind is a knowing element, and it has this ability to know, but it doesn't seems to be able to fix its knowing on any particular object for long. The span of attention is very brief, keeps moving from one object to another, and then keep reacting to those objects when they come into contact. And this creates stress, the way they react, because they usually react with cravings. So our goal now is to retrain the mind from moving around with all different objects, and try to train it to fix on one object at a time. Like we use a mantra or use the body to concentrate, to focus the mind on one object, not to let it be dragged by the thoughts. See? The thought keeps dragging the mind to different emotion, to different feelings, and so forth. And this can be a problem for the mind, or the knowing element. So what we want to do is to train the mind to have this ability to stay fixed and not to be moved or to follow all these changing thoughts and emotions that keep appearing in the mind by the practice of mindfulness and meditation, to eventually still the mind, stop the mind from reacting to anything that appears in the mind. So this is what we want to train the mind to be able to be still and not to react to any objects that the mind come into contact with, whether through the external organs of the body, like all the sensual objects, such as images, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects, and the inner changing up, and the inner objects of thoughts and emotions and feelings. We want to train the mind not to react to any of these things, because the mind tends to react with cravings or defilement, and that's creating stress in the mind. And if the mind should react, it should react with wisdom, knowing the nature of all these things as being the three characteristics, having the three characteristics of existence, that they are constantly changing, they're not always under our control. So if you don't want to have any stress, don't try to control them. Try to learn to live with them. Try to let them come and go by themselves and leave them alone. So that's the goal of our practice, to stop the mind from reacting with defilement, with love, hate, or delusion by using the three characteristics of existence and the Four Noble Truths as the tool to teach the mind how to react properly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Understand?
Sort of. For myself personally, it's like a part of the mind, and it's difficult because all these things are happening and you don't see it. It's the mind is not like, you can't like watch it like you watch a picture or something. But the mind seems to like appropriate the object. It's like that there's a clinging that comes into the whole process too. And I'm wondering, does a person need to make a deliberate effort not to cling? Do you have to notice when that happens so that you don't latch on to anything as all these things come and go?
When you have stress, you will be told that you are clinging to something. So
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling.
when you don't have stress, then you're not clinging to anything. So just watch the stress. Well, that's the indicator to let you know that your mind is now clinging or desiring for something that it cannot get.
Mm. Okay, that's good.
And the way to deal with it is to stop the stress, is to stop the clinging, stop the desire for things to be as it likes to be, as it wants to be, and leave things alone. Let things come and go by themselves.
Okay, I will work on that. Thank you so much.
So the stress is the indicator for us
Okay.
to. Anytime we have stress, it means we are creating cravings or attachment in our mind towards the objects, some objects.
Mm.
And if we want to stop the stress, we have to let go of our attachment to those objects.
Mhm, mhm.
Clear?
Oh, yeah, that is very clear. And I just have to keep working at it. Thank you so much.
And you need the tool of mindfulness and wisdom to be able to restrain your mind from reacting.
Yeah.
Okay, so do more mindfulness and more meditation.
Yeah, do more. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
All right, you're welcome. Titima from Bangkok. Titima, how are you?
กราบนมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์ very well ค่ะ I don't have any question ค่ะ
Kok Sing from Singapore.
Yeah, good evening, Ajaan. This evening I have two questions like to seek Ajaan advice. The first question, please allow me to read from what I penned earlier. Each time after I've completed my samatha bhavana, I would spend about 5 minutes for vipasana bhavana. This is the homework which I was instructed a few weeks ago. I will contemplate the Four Noble Truths as follow. One, the first noble truth, dukkha. So I would try to contemplate whatever pain or my body pain which I experienced on that day itself. So, for example, for today, my stomach is not too well and I need to visit the toilet a few times. So each session will make me tired and exhausted. And next, I will contemplate about the cause of the dukkha is because of this desire I have. I do not want to have any stomach upset. I don't want to have any discomfort or pain in my body. And this is the second noble truth. And next, the solution to overcome the dukkha is to accept that this body will get sick and discomfort. And this is the third noble truth, to let go of the desire. And fourth, in order not to have any dukkha in the mind, I need to achieve state of equanimity or jhana so that I don't feel stress. So may I check with Ajaan, is this way of contemplating of vipasana, bhavana, is this practice, is this the correct way?
Yes, just to summarize, just accept that once you are born, you will get sick and die. And so when things happen, just let it happen. Don't try to resist. You cannot resist aging, sickness, and death. If you don't want to have any stress.
Okay. Okay, my second questions is my wife, she has a close friend who was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer late last year. She has actually completed her chemotherapy treatment and she's now recuperating at home. She has actually expressed her desire that she wants to learn about Buddhism meditation. And my wife actually told her that I'm practicing Buddhist meditation, and so she actually asked me for some advice. So I just want to check with Ajaan, how do you advise me to proceed? How should I advise as a beginner how to practice meditation?
Advise her the way you advise yourself. How you teach yourself, then you teach other people the same way.
Okay. But I think I will just tell her to just do the samatha bhavana. That means just to calm the body and not the vipasana bhavana. And our advisors will just do it 5 minutes each day. And then 5 minutes and 10 minutes, and not longer than that. Since she's a beginner.
I think you shouldn't put on a time limit on her. Just let her do as long as she can, better. Maybe she can do longer than 5 minutes, and you will preventing her from doing more. Don't put a time limit on her. Just say, sit as long as you can.
Okay, sit as long as you can. Okay, yeah, I will advise her on that. Yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, you're welcome. Professor Ken from Switzerland. Hi. Not teaching today?
Good afternoon, Ajaan. I already finished my teaching duties today.
Okay.
So I came in. I have no question at the moment, Ajaan.
All right. I'll go to Maria then. Maria, where are you now?
Hello, Ajaan. I'm in Samui Island with my friends. They're also listening around me.
Okay.
And I have a few questions from our group. They asked me to translate.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
One woman, she asked you already that when we meditate, you said it's better not to change the position of the body. Otherwise, we start again from scratch, like it nullifies our progress in meditation. So she was asking, what exactly do we need to start again? Like our concentration, we need to build on again our observation or our work with our sankara. And if you just try to sit straight in meditation, should we also not do this? Should we not move at all, or just try not to do any major movements?
See, when you do meditation, you want to separate the mind from the body. So every time you come back to the body, then you're not separating it. When you watch your breath or you when you concentrate on a mantra, reciting a mantra, you're pulling the mind away from the body. But then when you start to move your body again, you bring the mind back to the body again, because it's the mind that moves the body. See? So you want to separate the mind from the body. If you want to go further away from the body, then you leave the body alone. Don't move it. Don't do anything with it. If you come back, then you're starting over again.
Mhm.
It's like driving out of your house to go to the office. Then halfway through, you say, "Oh, I forgot something at the house." So you drive back and get something at the house. So you keep going back and forth. You never get to the office. Okay.
Yes, and second question. One woman, she could not come with us, but she wants to know how to work when you are offended by somebody, and how to understand if you have really forgiven a person and not just not paying attention anymore. How to understand that you really have the strength to forgive a person. How is it felt?
Well, you feel normal every time you see that person. You just feel like seeing somebody, like you see other people that you're not angry with. But if every time you see that person and you still have this anger, it means you haven't really forgiven yet.
And she's asking if there is any like any teaching from Buddha how to deal when you are very offended by somebody. Any advice?
Yes, our offense, we are offended because we expect something from them. See? And when we expect them to treat us nice. So when they don't treat us nice, we get offended, right? So if you don't want to get offended, don't expect anything from anybody. Let them treat you any way they like. Then you won't get offended. The Buddha said the best way to consider yourself is to consider yourself as a servant to everybody. So anybody can say anything, do anything to you, and you won't feel offended because you are a servant.
Thank you very much. Very good. And the last question is one woman is saying when she goes with us on spiritual trip, she doesn't want to smoke at all. But when she is on her own and she feels stress, she wants to smoke again. And she doesn't have any willpower to stop it. Do you maybe have some advice for her how to develop willpower?
She should continue on her meditation practice after she came back from a resort, a meditation resort. Continue on practicing. Then your mind will be stronger and able to resist any cravings for anything. So continue on with practice. You just don't do it for 7 days and then you stop. When you stop, then you eventually will lose what have you achieved in the 7 days that you practice. If you want to maintain what you have achieved, you have to continue on practicing.
Okay, and a small question from me. Do I understand it right that we need to let go anything, like not to have any clinging at all in our mind? But what if we forget something like some very important work responsibilities because we try not to think about anything at all? So how to deal with different worldly affairs if we just remain in calm? Because I tend to forget things if I don't think about them much time, but I also feel it causes much stress in me when I try to hold on to such things and think about them more and more. So I want to let them go, but I'm afraid that I forget to do something important.
Well, you write it down, then better write it down. If you know something important, if you don't want to forget, just write it down. And then occasionally look at it so you don't forget. But if you start to feel stressful from looking at it, then you stop looking at it.
Okay, thank you very much. We have 3 more questions from one girl, but she will ask herself. She wants to talk to you directly. She speaks a bit English later.
Is she Vika? We'll go
Yes.
to Vika, okay.
Vika,
Vika,
yes.
go ahead. Vika, it's your turn now.
Yeah, hello, thank you for wisdom. I have 3 questions for you. So first question is, does the practice of samadhi and sati help us to purify the mind and help us to become a better person? Or does this only happen as the result of vipasana?
Well, the practice of mindfulness and meditation or samadhi will partially purify the mind, temporarily purify, not yet permanently purify the mind. When your mind becomes peaceful and in samadhi, your defilement will start functioning temporarily. But after you come out of samadhi, you start to think, and you start to see things or hear things, then your defilement can come back up again. So you need to practice the next level, which we call vipasana, in order to get rid of our defilement permanently. In order to purify the mind permanently, you need to go to the next level, which is vipasana or wisdom. But before you can go to that level, you have to go through the first level, which is samadhi first.
Okay, thank you. And the other question is, could you please clarify for me the difference between chitta and vijnana? I tried to understand it by myself, but I can't. It's like chitta more deepen than vijnana, or it's totally different things.
See, the chitta is a knowing element, and the main ability of the knowing element is to know. It has the ability to know things. Okay, and within the mind itself, within the chitta, there are four more functions that the chitta has, which is vedana, sanya, sankhara, and vijnana. Yeah. Vedana is feeling, is have ability to feel good, feel bad. This is vedana. Sanya is the ability to perceive things. Like when you see a man, a person, you can tell which is which. This is a man, this is a woman, this is perception or memory. And then the third ability of the mind, the chitta, is to be able to think about what should you do, where you should go, what, so forth. This is thinking. And the fourth ability is vijnana. This is the ability to connect to the body, to the five organs of the body, connect to the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, in order to receive the sensual objects of images, sound, taste, smell, and tactile objects. This comes through the vijnana. The vijnana is just a connector, connecting the mind to the body. It doesn't have any knowing ability. The one who knows is the mind. Vijnana just connect the body and then transfer the images and sound from the body to the mind, to the chitta. And it's the chitta that knows the sound and the images that come into the mind through vijnana, the connector.
So vijnana is consciousness, right? And
It's translated as consciousness, but in fact it's not. It's just a connector. It's connecting the five sensual organs, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body to the mind. And it transfers the images that come into the sensual, that comes into the eyes and send it to the mind, to the chitta.
It's like remembering.
No, just receive information, receive the five information, images, sound, smell, taste, and contact, tactile objects. When it comes into contact with the body, then it goes through this channel. The vijnana is like a channel. It's like a wire. You connect your device to a electrical outlet. Yeah. Like when you want to charge your phone, you have to have a wire that you put into the charger, into the phone, and to the electrical outlet. See, vijnana is just that wire that connects the electricity from the outlet to the phone.
But can I feel the vijnana in meditation?
You don't feel. It's the mind that knows when the vijnana send you the images, the sound that you hear. See? It's the mind that's the chitta that is the one that knows the sound, not the vijnana. The vijnana just do the work of bringing the sound from the body to the mind. And it's
So
the
I
mind.
can feel. Okay.
But you can hear, like you listen, you can hear my voice now. And this is the work of vijnana. See? my voice goes to the ears, and then from the ears it goes through vijnana to the mind, and it's the mind that knows the sound, that hears the sound, not vijnana or the ear. They don't know anything. It's the mind that knows the sound, know what we are talking about, and what we're talking about is being translated by perception.
Yeah, it started clear. Thank you. And the last question is, does it matter for our normal life, not monk's life? I mean, does it matter what life choices we make and how we make our decisions? For example, in which place to live in, or where to work, or with whom to live with? If, for example, of all of the options are in line with dharma and with Shila, so how should we choose? And is it important what to choose or not?
Well, basically there are two types of life in this world. Either the life of sensual pleasure or the life of meditation. So you just have to choose which one you like. If you like the life of meditation, you go live alone, live in a monastery and practice meditation and find peace and happiness from your meditation. But if you want to have a life of sensual pleasure, then you have to have a family, you have to have a husband, and you have to go to holidays and so forth. And you have to pay for this thing, so you have to work.
But while I am not ready to be a monk and to live in monastery, and I want to practice Dhamma in my layer, in my
Time,
daily
in your
life.
spare time. Well, you practice partially, you see. When you're free, you don't have any time to do anything, then you practice meditation. And the more you learn the more you become proficient in your meditation practice, you'll find that you're happier when you meditate. And you'll probably want to do more meditation as you advance. And eventually then you want to take full-time meditation life, because you'll find that this is the best way for you. Because the meditation life has no stress, like the sensual pleasure life.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, understand?
Not really.
Well, we all have to start from the sensual pleasure life. But as soon as you start to see that sensual pleasure bring you a lot of stress, then you maybe say, maybe this is not the way to go. And so you might want to try to do some practice meditation. And if you succeed and you find peace and happiness, then this will give you the encouragement or the inspiration to do more and to do less with the sensual pleasure life.
So the answer will be after the meditation.
Yeah, if you succeed and you advance and you find successful, you find peace and happiness, then you might want to do more of this meditation. And then you want to do less with the sensual pleasure. And eventually you might want just to give up sensual pleasure completely and concentrate only on the meditation life.
Okay.
Like I did before, I also I was in the sensual pleasure life. But after I see that there's so many stress from it, and I start to learn how to meditate, and I find meditating is much more peaceful and less stressful, then I decide to do more meditation. And then one day I decide I can give up sensual pleasure entirely and become a monk and concentrate completely on meditation practice. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Hope this will give you some inspiration.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. I'll come to Nining now. Nining from Indonesia. Hi, Nining.
Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, Ajaan, I plan to practice meditation in Wat Yan from 24 June until 7 July. But the admin replied me via email that I can only stay there for maximum 7 days. But I asked for Ajaan permit that if only I can stay there for 14 days, because every time I take retreat, I always take 14 days because I think that is the efficient, the efficient more benefit for me, for my practice, if I take long period. So if only Ajaan give me permit, I will issue my ticket according to 14 days stay in Wat Yan.
Well, normally the rule is 7 days for one stay, but if there are no other people using your room, you can extend it for another 7 days for foreigners.
Okay.
So we cannot guarantee you 100%. I'm not sure. Talk to the admin, see whether they can allow you to stay for 2 weeks or not. But usually 1 week, and then you possibly might be able to extend if if the room is available. But if it's not available, then you have to give the room to other people.
Okay. Okay then. And my question is, Ajaan, if I live in Dharma way, if I live with 8 precepts and also I practice meditation every day, so can my bad karma wrap via my body sickness? Because
your body sickness doesn't come from your bad karma. There are other factors that can cause your body to get sick. So by practicing meditation doesn't prevent your body from not getting sick. The Buddha got sick and the body died. So this is the nature of the body, to get sick and die, regardless of whether you do good or bad karma.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because on Sunday I did 1 day mindfulness and I did sitting meditation every session for 2 hours, and after Sunday I got a very hard diarrhea until today. I don't know because I think I eat well and I don't do anything harsh for my body, but after doing that 1 day mindfulness and I practice my concentration very efficient and very well, I got a very hard diarrhea until today.
Well, meditation can also have effect on your physical health. When your mind becomes less stressful, and then it then can reduce the effect on your body. Your body can be better when your mind is less stressful. So it has some effect, but not entirely, not completely, by just the practice alone, because there's still other factors that can cause the body to get sick.
Oh, I see. Okay, Ajaan, thank you. I will see you in June, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity because I wait too long for looking for the quiet place for practice my meditation more deep and deep. So hopefully I can meet Ajaan and learn Dharma from Ajaan directly. Thank you.
Well, you are learning from me right now. There's no need to go.
That's why I'm addicted to this Zoom meeting. So I tell my family and my friend that nobody can. I mean, Tuesday I go to school, so don't disturb me. I have to be on the Zoom for 2 hours, so nobody can disturb me because I love this Zoom meeting, and this meeting give me much improvement in the way I think and the way I see the life.
Okay, good. Very happy to hear that.
Yeah, thank you, Ajaan.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very
Keep,
much.
keep coming back, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, next we'll go to Nita and Saket. If I pronounce your name correctly, where are you from? India? Nita,
From India, but we are staying in the US right now.
in the US. Yes, what can I do for you?
I had a question, Ajaan. We, especially since last November, when we had visited your monastery and we had come to Thailand on a pilgrimage, we both have been practicing more regularly. And when possible, we are also trying to follow the 8 precepts. Now, we do have relatives coming over. My wife's parents will be coming for 2 months, a little less than 2 months. And I was wondering, because they are not Buddhist or they're not practicing Dhamma, what is a good way for us to host them in a way that our practice is also maintained, and maybe they also warm up to some Dhamma ideas. They're looking for a real fun time in America when they come. So, but is there anything that we can do, or any advice, please?
Can you have your cake and eat it too? Yeah, you have to have one or the other. You cannot have both. If you want to be a good host, then you have to suspend your meditation practice and be a good host. Show them a good time. If you want to be a bad host, then you just tell them, I'm meditating, I'm not taking you anywhere.
Sorry, Ajaan, the voice went away.
I see. If you want to be a good host, then you will have to treat them well. If they want to go sightseeing, then you have to show them around. And you have to stop your meditation practice temporarily. But if you want to be a bad host, and you just tell them that you want to meditate and they have to go do things alone by themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
Or you can do somewhere in between, half and half. What can you do? I think the best way is to be a good host. At least you can practice metta by being a good host. So maybe this is not the time to do meditation practice. It's the time to do metta practice. Brahma Vihara, the Brahma Vihara. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Ubeka. Okay, is that all?
I have one question, Ajaan. I was thinking about anger and ill will. So there are times when the anger is there in the mind or ill will is there in the mind, but I don't want to act on it, especially when I'm in front of the person. But I do feel like my mind thinks whether it's deceiving because I have something else in my mind, but I'm acting in some other way, or so I get confused. What is the right action at that very moment when I am angry with that person and the person is in front of me?
No, it's not deceiving. It's not good to show your anger. You should express your anger, because anger is not a good thing to express to anybody. So you want to try to suppress your anger and not allowing your anger to go through your body action. Because when you show your anger, you're causing other people problem. They become offended, and they can become sad and unhappy with your anger action. So it's better to suppress it, keep it even in yourself, and not exposing it to other people. It doesn't mean you're trying to deceive people. You just know that this is not something good to give to people. You don't want to show anger with people. You want to be kind and be nice. You want to show metta. And one way to be able to suppress or get rid of your anger is to forgive that person who caused you the anger in the first place. This is metta, avera hontu. Don't hold any grudges. When somebody do something wrong to you, just forgive them. Then your anger will disappear. Okay?
Yes, Ajaan. Thank you so much.
All right.
Try.
Is that all? Okay. Now go to the next one. Full moon. Full moon is from China. Hi, full moon.
Good evening, Ajahn Chang. Yes,
Okay.
I'm from China.
What can I do for you tonight?
My question is that recently I practice reciting dharma, Buddha, and I find that I focus on my mouth and recite Buddha, not focus on my my heart, and I feel good. I feel peaceful. If I focus on my heart, and I will feel a little nervous and uncomfortable. So I focus on my mouth, in front of the mouth, and then I can feel peaceful, and sometimes I will pay attention to my heart, and then I will return to my mouth. So the whole body will feel more comfortable, and my mind will calm down. My thoughts will get slowly and disappeared. I want to ask you: is this the right way to practice?
Well, you can, using the mantra, the goal is to stop your mind from creating stress or bad feelings by thinking about this and that things that cause you to have bad feelings. So if you can stop your thinking, then your mind can become calm and peaceful. And however you do it, that's up to you. But usually you have to know that the mantra comes from your mind, Buddha comes from your mind. So if you can focus your Buddha in your mind, then that will be the right way. But if you cannot yet focus your attention on Buddha in your mind, then if you find using your mouth as the place of focus, and it makes your mind feel comfortable and calm, that's okay also. It's up to you.
Okay. And another question is that if sometimes my Buddha, the lesson Buddha will go to my heart, and my heart will how to say that word is, my heart will drop and he will the two things, Buddha, the reciting of Buddha, and the drop of the heart will become one thing sometimes.
Well,
it will follow the heart. Yes.
See, we're not trying to synchronize the rhythm with Buddha, the heartbeat with the Buddha. What we want to use Buddha to stop our thoughts, our thinking. So that's what the main purpose of reciting Buddha.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Just Buddha to make our thoughts
disappear.
not
Disappear.
thinking much.
Yeah. Make your
Okay.
mind blank. Make your mind empty. When your mind becomes empty, your mind become peaceful and happy. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I understand.
So try to focus your Buddha in your mind, not on your lips or on the heart. Just keep reciting Buddha by thinking of Buddha. Buddha is a thought, but it's a good thought. It replaces the bad thought. See.
Okay. I think this way is more official. It's more useful than focus on breath, because working when I work on the company or live in the modern city, focus on the breath become more difficult. But just reciting Buddha will become more easy sometimes, I think.
Yes, and it depends on the situation. If you are in a quiet place, you might be able to use your breath, watching your breath also. But you can use Buddha as just as good as watching the breath. Okay?
Okay.
Whichever method works for you, makes your mind calm, you can use that method. Anything else?
No, thank you. That's all. Thank you, Ajaan Cha.
Okay, you're welcome. Go to Philip in Malaysia. Philip?
Good day, Ajaan. I hope you're doing well. I don't have any questions today.
Okay. Go to New Zealand, to Anura and Ramya.
Hey, good evening, Ajaan. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, so I think I agree with the previous comment. So this Tuesday evening, the Zoom meeting is really like a gas to our car type, energy to the meditation practice. So thank you for the teaching. So the more I do practice, so now I'm using Buddha. So every time when I wake up, I just remind myself to start reciting Buddha in my head. I find it's very useful, very peaceful. I can even helpful during my work life as well. So much more peaceful. And now I see most of the time when there's some klesha coming, I can see whether it's greed or hatred. I can detect early on. So now I understand what you have been telling us all this time. So thank you for the teaching.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Do it to the point where you start to see the result, and you understand.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is very happy to hear that from you, that you
Yeah.
start to see the benefit of using Buddha.
Yeah. So I think this is how to say, another comment that Luanta Mahabu has said in one of the last Dhamma talks. He has studied scriptures for 7 years, and then he said at the end of his life he can't remember the scriptures, but he knows his Dhamma from his heart because he has been practicing. So I think that's a very powerful statement. So when
That's
we
right.
die, when I die, if I practice more, I know that I can use my practice when I die. So just to rather than what I studied. So
Yeah, you forget when you get sick,
yes.
your mind can become restless and agitated.
Yeah.
And you forget what you learn. But what you practice, you will not lose. If you've been able to use Buddha, you can use Buddha when you're sick to calm your mind down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
What about
Thank
you,
you.
Ramya? No question from you?
No question, Ajahn. Practicing as much as I can.
So
Okay.
we both now more 6 preceptors. So
Okay, good. Just slowly adding up from 5 to 6
Yes,
and
yes,
maybe to
yes.
7 and 8 eventually.
Yeah, because I'm working because I have to keep the other two on.
Yeah, okay, no problem. It's better than 5 anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Thank you, Dr.
Okay. Next, Intan from Indonesia. Intan.
Good evening, Prajan. Prajan, I want to say thank you to Prajan. Last week, suddenly I'm sick. So when I'm very, very pain, I just observe the pain. I just let it go. From that time, I can learn what Ajaan suggests to me, how to learn about anicca, how to understand dukkha. But at that time, I think I don't have a dukkha, because I can accept the pain. So after 2 days, I teach my mind, it's okay. Now you can take a rest, not walk meditation and no meditation. But if tomorrow you still pain, it's okay, but we need to start to practice again. So at the 3rd day, suddenly the pain is gone. I don't know why like that. So I can practice again. So I think because Ajaan suggests, I can understand. If we Ajaan said must to plan to get sick and happy if I'm sick. Maybe because I can change my mind when I'm sick. I no suffering.
That's right. If you want to get sick, then when you get sick, you're happy because you get what you wanted.
Yeah.
So change your attitude. Change your attitude from not wanting to get sick to wanting to get sick.
Yeah.
Waiting for sickness to come. Ah, here it comes.
Yeah.
Very happy to see you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay. Very simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just change your attitude. We don't want
And no need medicine.
we don't want aging, we don't want sickness, we don't want death. But they come, so
Yeah.
then you just change. Okay, you want to get
Yeah.
old, you want to get sick, you want to die. So when they
Yeah.
come, then you can be happy because you can get what you want, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Prajan.
Okay, you're welcome. I've been saying this might be easy, but when the real thing comes, let's see what happens, okay? See, we can still be smiling and say, yeah, I'm happy, I'm getting sick, I'm dying, I'm very happy. Okay, good.
Okay.
In order to be able to do this, you have to do a lot of meditation. Don't give up meditation.
Yeah.
Meditation will stop your mind from reacting negatively.
Yeah. This is also make me more motivation because I more understand our body is changed every time from healthy can change to very pain. So I must to take this opportunity to more diligent to practice.
Yes. To train your mind to accept everything that appears, that happens to your body. Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
You still plan to come to the what?
Yeah. On July until August.
Oh, July. Okay. Still a long way off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See you then.
Yeah. Yeah. See you, Prajan.
Okay. Go to Aparajita in Dubai. How's the flooding? Is it over now? I heard the
Oh,
Bala
yes,
flooding.
yeah, in fact, that is the day that I was speaking to you. That was the day the whole city was going chaotic. And I only found out later, but thank you for listening to my little sad story. But luckily, that little bird was alive, even in the storm. And it was very sweet to see the parents come back and feed it. So it's a very strong little bird.
Good. Is this the unusual storm that you had?
Oh, yes. We've never had that kind of storm for like 75 years, they said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were cars floating and there was wind and lots of people had a lot of suffering, actually. It was quite like, oh, sudden. Yes.
Not expecting at all.
And I mean, they said rain, but not like that. And in fact, usually the city never stops. It's, quite sort of active and modern. But for 1 week, roads were closed, metro got closed, many things happened.
Is everything back to normal now?
Yes, it's been a week now. So more or less everything is back to normal. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. What can I help you with anything tonight?
No, I am very good. I keep meditating and also, yeah, perhaps this this whole crisis before I would, just feeling good that you can, if you can help somebody, help someone, but also accept. Yes.
Yes. You use metta, you can do something. But if you cannot use metta, if you cannot help, then you use ubekha, equanimity.
Yeah.
And say this is the way things work sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
How's your brother? Haven't heard from him, haven't seen him. You still in contact with him?
He's okay. He actually went for a vipasana 10-day retreat a few weeks ago. But I think he's just been a bit busy, but he will definitely join in. Yes.
Okay. Fine. Just wondering, that's all.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'll go to Malaysia again, to Penang.
Thank you.
Bukit Genso.
Ajaan, just to send regards, yeah? No questions. Listening.
Okay, good to see you. Go to Sao Paulo with Alfredo.
Hi, Bante.
How are you?
Good.
No problem.
On Sachi. Sachi, Upeka.
Ubeka. If you have
Sunyata.
Ubeka, everything is no problem, right?
No word, please.
Everything
No
is
word, no problem. No
Good.
sansara, no problem. Upeka is in Farjana is not appear things, né, Bante? Only spiritual mind, né? The real world not appear, né, Bante? What's your opinion?
What do you mean? Ubeka is not what?
Upeka not appear the word, the normal word.
Word. What do you mean by word?
World,
World.
samsara.
Samsara. I see.
Yes.
Yeah, Ubeka is still under the samsara. If you have Ubeka from your meditation, it's still under the influence of the defilements. Yeah. And you can lose Ubeka when your mind start to think, and then your defilement can start come into action again. It's only when you go to vipasana, when you can use wisdom to get rid of your defilement, your cravings, then there will be no samsara after that.
Yes.
No
defilement, no samsara.
Yeah, no defilement, no samsara. It's a permanent form of ubeka.
And Sachi too. Perfect Sachi.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
and Sunyata.
Yeah. Sunyata, I mean the mind is empty of all cravings, of all suffering.
Yes.
about sansara. The mind doesn't get involved with sansara anymore.
Yes.
Once the mind is in nibbana, then it doesn't get involved with samsara.
Yes.
Okay, no rebirth anymore.
Yes. A calm mind. Calm.
Calm.
Calm. Yes.
I
Come
don't
to wisdom. Come to wisdom appear.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good.
Good.
Get there soon, okay?
Yes. Tomorrow I have a doctor of cancer, but I don't have cancer. Only in the stomach, the magic have. I have cancer, but I don't have. I think it's only ulcer. In Brazil, the name is ulcer.
Ulcer, yes.
Ulcer, yes. But I don't know. I don't have cancer. I think I don't know. I
It's
have
not,
good.
it's not
my
you
health.
anyway. Your body is not you anyway. So why should you worry about it?
Yes. I
Right?
go to the doctor because the medical told me that I have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you go, but you don't worry about it. Okay, you don't worry about your
yes,
body.
yes.
Look,
It's a prevention.
you look after your body, but anything happen to it, you just have to accept it. That's all.
Yes.
Okay, good.
If I have cancer, but it's normal too. No? I'm dead before yours.
We all gonna die. We all end up dead one day.
I'm rest.
Okay.
It's a kiddie, but sorry, it's a kiddie.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Thanks.
Stay healthy, okay? Stay alive.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Vince from Singapore. Vince Chua.
Yes. Good evening, Ajaan. My question is, how can we there's this thing called peace and joy. We feel peaceful and happy, and when we are working, right, we are very peaceful and joyful and happy. And I think, but when we are alone doing practicing, the happiness and joy seems to be the default mode. And so when you have too much, you feel happy, but that becomes a default mode and less interest in investigating the dharma or the day-to-day life. Yeah. So the question is that how can I reduce less joy and happiness and have more calm in that sense?
Well, when you meditate, sometimes you don't have any joy or happiness. You just have calm and peace and contentment.
Right. Yeah. So, but because day to day I do a lot of work, so I try to maintain that peace and happiness, right? So, but again, it become a default mode. So I thought that is a hindrance to me. That I try to go to a default mode and feel happy. That's it.
Well, there are different ways
I
to make
try to
yourself. There are different ways to make yourself happy. You can be happy when you work and go on a holiday, or you can be happy by meditating. It's just a different way of making yourself happy. That's all.
Okay. But how can we have more calm surface or more peaceful surface?
You have to have more mindfulness. You have to have more time to practice mindfulness. You should go on a retreat or be alone for a while and practice mindfulness. Because if you're not alone, it's hard to practice mindfulness.
Okay. Understand. Maybe lots of work on that mindfulness to create the balance. I just go on that happy, and then you like vision.
The Buddha said that we should have at least one day off for mindfulness a week.
1 day off.
1 day for the practice of mindfulness. Practice it once a week. Like today's Uposatha day, Buddhist observance day. This is a day in ancient time, people stop working and go to the monastery to practice dharma.
Okay. Maybe I should deepen that study and stay alone for a day and try that out. Ken, maybe I should come and see you soon.
Oh, you can go to anywhere in Singapore. You can go to Wat Pa Lay Lai or to Wat Santi, Ajaan Keng's monastery nearby.
Okay. Okay. Half a day I can. Yeah.
Or you can do it at your home. If you're alone, you can practice alone for 1 day in your home by yourself. Practice mindfulness.
Okay. I got it. Mindfulness to create more calm and less happy. Less happiness is too much.
Yeah. You just have to have time to practice mindfulness. That's what you're lacking right now. You don't have time for mindfulness practice. So you have to arrange for a time for you to do mindfulness practice. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. Still in Singapore with Belinda. Belinda, are you mindful? Or are you forgetful?
I'm forgetful, Dr.
You forget your mindfulness. Keep thinking a lot.
Oh,
You should only think when you have to. And the rest of the time you should stop thinking. Think only when you have to. Okay, no problem, no question.
then why is it that when we try to be mindful of keeping the mind to present, it feels very unbearable, like unpleasant.
It's like retraining your habits. Old habit dies hard, When you change habit, the old habit will try to resist your training of the new habit. So there's a struggle between the old and the new habit so you feel it very stressful when you try to learn a new trick, Learning a new habit it can be stressful, but it can be very beneficial once you have achieved it. So you have to persevere, you have to persist and bear up with the stress. Eventually, when you've achieved, then the stress will disappear. When you have complete mindfulness, then you will have complete calm all the time. Okay. Anything else?
Yes. So when we face the stress of habit, sometimes a lot of too much willpower or too little effort. How do we know when we use too much willpower, Ajaan? Like we too much, then it become like a very strong rebound.
Well, you need to put in the effort to get the result. See? Willpower alone will not give you the result. You have to put in the effort to do the practice.
Okay. So how do we, if it's right effort and willpower, I can't quite differentiate like when the effort, if it's comes with defilement of like a willpower kind of thing.
Willpower initiate your effort. See? Once you have willpower, then you put in the effort. Willpower is the one that tell you to do the practice. Once you're told to do the practice, then you keep on doing the practice. Just putting in the right effort. You have to think first, I have to meditate all day long. Once this is willpower, this is your intention. I want to meditate all day long. And to achieve this, then you have to put in the effort and meditate, do the meditation, not just thinking about it. Thinking about it doesn't give you any result. It's only doing it that will give you the result. Okay?
Then I can ask one more question.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yes, I find the mind when this mind sometimes when I have but if the mind telling the mind, hey, I'm going to set this goal, I'm going to do this, and the same mind will like sabotage. The same mind will do. So sometimes I better don't tell the mind what to do, but I will know what to do better than to. Sometimes when I say something to the mind would do something like sabotaging, or like it would just go to opposite side. Sometimes like, oh yeah, if I want to do something, then the mind will go opposite. So it's a habit then, or is it something that I just know and I try not to think too much about it?
It just means your mind is still choosing.
Yeah.
From left to right, right to left. Doesn't know which one it wants to go, which one it wants. So you have to decide for once and for all which one you want, and then stick to it. If you want to meditate, then just stick to it. When the time for you to meditate, even if you don't feel like doing it, you have to force yourself to do it. Like the Buddha, he said, I want to sit under this tree until I become enlightened. If I'm not enlightened, I won't get up from this seat that I'm sitting. Should my blood runs dry, I'll let it happen, but I will not get up from this seat. I will not stop meditating until I become enlightened. So you have to be resolute in your resolution. Or else you will not be able to achieve anything. Okay. All right. I'll go to Sri and check from Vancouver. How's your full foundation of mindfulness coming?
Not bad.
What do you mean by not bad?
A question, Ajaan. I find this contemplating in the body is nature of arising and vanishing. What does a Buddha mean?
Well, the Buddha, the body rises and ceases, the body is born and die. Okay. Remind yourself that the body will die. Once it's being born, it will die one day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So we don't have to find a reason or what the cause. Like, okay, it's just like, okay, born and die.
The cause of death could be anything, but it dies anyway. Right. Once you are born, you are subjected to death. Whatever rises will cease one day. This is the law of anicca, impermanent. The body rises and it will cease. Your feeling rises and it will cease. Good feeling rises and then it will disappear. Then bad feeling can arise to replace it. So they keep changing all the time as far as the feeling is concerned. The body is the same way. When this body dies, you go get a new body again. Then you're born again, and then you die again. Body rises and ceases.
So this is nature. Okay.
Anicca. Anatta, you cannot stop. Once it is being born, it will die. You cannot stop that once you have birth. If you don't want to have death, then you should not have birth. Stop birth, and then you will not have to die. And the purpose of practice is to stop birth in Buddhism, because birth is not good. Birth leads to suffering. Birth leads to aging, sickness, and death.
We born in the after we die and go to the spiritual realm, we also die, right? We are like also rise and cease in the spiritual realm.
Yeah, you can say that also. You can be in heaven for a while, and then when your good karma expire, then you're dead from heaven. You come down from heaven and reborn as a human again. There's always constantly changing of habitat. You keep changing your house. From
So
the
even
body,
no body also rise and cease. Except for if you're in nirvana, you don't rise and cease anymore.
because you don't take birth. When there's no birth, there's no death. Right?
Oh.
You don't take birth in any sphere of existence, whether it's in the sensual sphere, on the meditative sphere. You don't take birth in those sphere anymore, this realm of existence.
Nibbana is not birth. Nibbana is the only, is not birth. It's
Nirvana is a state of mind in which it stopped taking birth. The mind stopped taking birth because it had got rid of all the cause of birth, which is cravings. Once there are no cravings in the mind, then the mind becomes still and doesn't go take any birth anymore. So when there's no birth, there will be no suffering from aging, sickness, and death. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Make sense?
Yes. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank
The
you.
way to stop birth is to stop your cravings.
Stop.
Craving for sensual pleasure, like watching a movie or dancing, going on a holiday, having a party. This is all sensual pleasure that you have to give up. Because they are like addiction. Once you do it, you want to keep coming back and do it again. Right? So if you have any cravings to go on a holiday, just stop doing it. Then you will stop going on a holiday forever.
Yeah.
But if you go on this trip, then there'll be another trip coming out later on.
Never ending.
Never ending. But in order to be able to do this, you have to have something to replace your sensual pleasure. And you use meditation as a replacement for your sensual pleasure. You find pleasure in meditation instead. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajaan.
All right. Go to John now. Hi, John from Australia. You still want to become a Buddha?
Namaskaran, Ajahn Suchart. I'm still stubborn.
You're still stubborn, okay. You want to take the long route.
Yeah, you never know how long it is. It's been probably millions of lives. It's okay.
It's okay.
Last week was a good session because we spoke about a lot of things, and it's good. It's combined all of the teaching that you've put together for us, and thank you for all your teachings. The path is quite clear for me. Yeah.
It's just the doing that is not yet clear, right?
It's more like you have to clean out the garage before you can see what's left. You know, so it takes a long time to clean out the garage, if that makes sense. Like Philip said, go ahead.
It depends on how much effort you want to put in.
Yes. It's like Philip said last week. He mentioned about someone that had a bad attitude, and he found out that the bad attitude, that person had a lot of breaking all the precepts. So it all comes down to the precepts, really. if you look at every precept and see which ones you are good with, which ones you're not good with, you can tell why things are not the way that you think they should be. So first by understanding that, and then by trying to accept that, you're the one that's created all this through having the wrong view, through breaking precepts, and then trying to amend that, and then just saying sorry and understanding that, in every situation, there's a precept that's been broken. There's wrong view that's created the precept to be broken. And then there's the ego that thinks, oh, hang on, no, I'm right. And depending on how many lifetimes that ego continues to hold on to that view, then it creates more and more pain and more pain and more pain for you and for everyone else around you and everyone you meet and everyone you interact with. And that's where the little plant becomes a little budding, becomes a tree, becomes a forest, and engulfs everything. So it's quite interesting. Yeah.
So we have to cut down all the trees, right? Clear the forest.
Well, yes, but even doing that, when you have a small knife, takes a long time. You have to go buy if you don't have enough money to buy a truck or to buy a
chainsaw.
A chainsaw. So that's what I mean by you have to clean out the garage. But first, you have to really understand Sila, really understand the principles of not breaking precepts. Tanajan, a lot of monks, it's always talked about the 5 precepts, but they don't talk about the 10 precepts or the Kamabota. And I find when I read the Kamabota, I think that's the way it's translated. The precepts based on the moral precepts, not just the 5 killing, but also the thinking. Do you know which ones I'm talking about?
Well, see, the 5 precepts is for non-meditators. If you want to become a meditator, you have to keep the 8 or the 10 precepts. Actually, the 8 precepts is actually 9 precepts, but they combine two together to become 1. So we only count as 8. But actually, there are 9 precepts in the 8 precepts.
Which ones are they that you're talking about?
The abstaining from entertainment and abstaining from dressing yourself up. These are two separate precepts.
Yes. But I'm talking about the ones based on the mind action, verbal action, body action. So not only just to not kill, but not to think of killing, not to just. So it's not thinking of killing, not thinking of hurting anyone, no foolish blabber.
You have to do that through meditation practice to deal with the thoughts. The action of thought you have to deal with meditation, vipasana, and samadhi to be able to stop the mental action. But the physical and the verbal action, you use the precept to stop it.
Yes. I found that to be quite good. Going from many years ago, I really had a dislike for cockroaches. I don't know why. But then last year, I was in a place where for a little while that had cockroaches at night. And I'd get up at night to go to the toilet and I'd have a real challenge with the cockroach like inside me. But then I started observing the cockroaches and found that even cockroaches communicate with each other. It's amazing. Like everything has its purpose. Everything has a value. So really, really understanding the precepts and living by the precepts as much as you can. I think everything starts from there. If you can do that, like Buddha says, sila, samadhi, panya.
Yes, you have to start with sila, before you can move up to samadhi and go up to panya eventually. And then you can get vimutti and cessation of suffering.
Great. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay, you're welcome. Who's next now? Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie, it's your turn from Oregon.
Hi there.
Yes, can hear you well. Go ahead.
I do. I think I know what you're going to say. Meditation and mindfulness. My husband is going on a trip, and I feel a lot of anxiety. He usually works from home, so he's always home. And then a few times a year, he has to go for like a week, and I feel so much anxiety. And I'm aware. I don't know. It's my practice is usually a lot easier, and in these moments, it's just really hard. And I guess I need advice how to be mindful when it's so the
Because
habit pattern.
you have this expectation, you want him to be saved and return.
Yes,
See? But then
that
you
is
know
exactly
that,
right.
But you know that we are living in the world of anicca,
Yes.
uncertainty. So you have to convince your mind to accept uncertainty that he might not come back, he might come back. Whatever will be, will be.
It's hard. Yes. Okay.
Then if you find it hard to do, then you have to meditate to calm your mind
Yes.
down.
Should I maybe dwell in metta? Because I don't really use the mantra Buddho, but I do metta a lot. Would that be better during this time to maybe just try to dwell in metta?
I think you should use ubekkha better if you can.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, because metta means you want to look after someone, This is not a
After
case
him,
of
that would be
looking,
not
yeah,
okay.
right. This is
Okay, that
the
makes
time
sense.
this is the time to let go.
I got you. That does make sense. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Thank you.
Feel better now?
I do. Yes. Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. Next, we'll go to Toronto now, Canada. Dr.V and Indira.
Good morning, Ajaan.
The doctor is busy, I guess.
Yes, he just had to go see a patient. He was here all this time. Yes. He was going to ask you a question about his craving for roses, but maybe next time.
Okay.
Yes. I'm just listening and learning a lot. Thank you so much for everything, Ajaan.
If he can come back later, we can talk later with him, okay? If he's still here.
Okay, I will tell him.
I'll go to Samanji first. Now, Samanji, it's your turn. Can you unmute your microphone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Hello, Tanajan. I can hear you very well. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm also doing okay. Yeah. So happy to see you. Yeah.
You have any questions
Yeah.
tonight?
Yes. Yes, I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Can I go? Yes. Maybe I just want to know whether an arhat still need to practice meditation because he has achieved everything. Does it necessary for him to practice meditation further?
You can take it or leave it, but sometimes you take meditation as a way of relaxation when you.
Okay.
So arahants still do some practice. They do walking meditation to exercise the body as well as calming the mind, resting the mind also.
Okay. Otherwise, there's no need for an arhat to do meditation.
No need to because
no need to because he has achieved everything. Yeah.
Because the defilement has been all got rid of. The purpose of meditation is to purify the mind.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I understand. Yeah. My second question is how should Buddhists respond to criticism, Ajaan? I mean, both to constructive criticism and harsh criticism.
first of all, you don't react to criticism, you accept criticism because this is part of existence. Sometimes you got criticism, sometimes you got praises. This is the nature of things in this world. So you don't react with emotion, whether by being happy or being sad from getting these things. Okay, but you can respond with rationality. If someone says something that you can explain to them that this is not so, then you can do it if they want to listen. But if they don't want to listen, they just want to criticize for the sake of criticizing you, then you don't do anything. Just let it be.
Okay. But when it comes to our elders or like our friends' criticism, if it's constructive criticism, then we need to listen to what they say? If it's something worthwhile, then you have to.
Yes, if it's constructive, if it's beneficial for us, then we should accept it and then try to apply it because it will improve ourselves.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ajaan. My next question is, what role does sacrifice play in Buddhism, Ajaan? I mean, should we sacrifice our priorities in order to fulfill our responsibilities?
Well, sacrifice is a way of practicing dharma. And dharma is giving. When you give something, you sacrifice something for something else. So when you sacrifice, actually, you're not losing what you give. You might lose something that you give, but you get something back in return. Usually what you get is more mental than physical. Like when you give money away, you lose money, but you get a sense of happiness from the act of giving.
Okay. Like, for example, should we sacrifice our meditation practice in order to fulfill some other responsibility? In that case,
it should be the other way around. The Buddha said, sacrifice everything for the sake of meditation.
But for example, if someone has to look after an elder or some maybe a sick child or a sick sibling, so in such a case, like, should we sacrifice our meditation practice in order to fulfill that responsibility because we can't leave the child behind? We have to look after the child.
Maybe you can find somebody to do it for you.
Okay.
But if you could not, then you might have to sacrifice your time for meditation to look after the person until you can find someone to replace you.
Okay, I understand.
Like the Buddha, he left his wife and his son because he knew someone would look after them for him.
Yeah, I understand. I have a few more questions. Can I go ahead with them?
Yes, go ahead. Do all you want.
Now, this is a general question, Ajaan, because I have read, I just want to know, did the Christ ever come to India to learn Buddhism? Or is there any truth that the Christ came to India after resurrection to India to learn Buddhism? I think I have read somewhere. And a Christian friend of mine also asked me. So I have read this somewhere too, like, do you know anything?
I heard somewhere something like that. There was a gap period of his life in which wasn't accounted for. And so they presume he might have traveled to India and been exposed to Buddhism. I don't know. This is just speculation. There's no recorded record to verify this.
And I read somewhere that Christ too is a bodhisattva.
It's just a matter of interpretation. If someone practiced a lot of sacrifice, dana, metta, then we assume that they're gonna be a bodhisattva.
Ajaan, some people make use of Buddhist meditation to achieve material benefits. Like, I have closely followed the work of some motivational speakers and writers on positive thinking, especially from the West. And I feel that they make use of Buddhist meditation practices to train their clients to achieve material benefits. and lead and they are, especially those motivational speakers teach us how to lead a happy life, but they never give credit to Buddhism. But what I have learned through reading them is that most of their teachings are based on Buddhist meditation, but they never give credit to Buddhism. Like, should we write to them about it? I'm just thinking about it. Like, don't I wonder why they never give credit to Buddhism?
You shouldn't worry about getting credit from your action.
Okay.
You do it for the benefit of other people. If they benefit from your action, then you should be happy with that, even if they don't recognize you as the benefactor.
They act as if they they are the like they created that sort of meditation practices, and that's how they teach. But most of the people from the West, they don't know that these meditation are based on the root of these all these meditation practices are is Buddhist meditation. So, but so like they are not telling the truth in that case.
Well, the Buddha never owned the meditation practice. It's just something he discovered.
Okay.
So it's a
But
natural thing. Anybody can discover and use it if they like. There's no copyright. Let's put it that way. Meditation.
But Buddha discovered meditation already existed in India, but vipasana meditation and all that was Buddha's original, like Buddha discovered it through his practice. Isn't that so?
Yes, so but he gave it away as a dharma, as a gift of dharma to the world. So anybody can use it, and if they want to contribute this to him or not, that's not the problem. To him, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So because it's good for anybody who can practice meditation.
Okay.
So if they don't want to accept or acknowledge where it came from, that's okay, no problem. Because our goal is not to be recognized. Our goal is to help other people to be happy.
Okay.
Metta. We call
yeah.
metta.
Yes.
Be Santa Claus. Santa
Okay.
Claus.
I know that.
There's no copyright on Santa Claus. Like anybody can become Santa Claus if they like.
And also what I meant was like the Buddha's intention was to teach us how to stop, how to put a full stop to all our suffering. But what these, most of the motivational speakers from the West, what they do is they make use of this meditation to help us lead a very good material life, to get us material comforts, but it's totally different from the Buddha's intention. So that's fine. Is that so?
It means that they will still have to suffer, because as long as they want physical comfort, they will not be able to fulfill it, because the nature of the body is always anicca. It might last. This body comfort might last for a while, but eventually this body discomfort will replace it sooner or later.
Okay. And my sister also wanted to join the session today, but as soon as she came to Sri Lanka, I think she's still down with the flu. So she wanted me to tell you that both of them learned a lot of Dhamma from you, and they got a wonderful opportunity to talk to you in person. And you were so kind enough to explain the Dhamma matters to them very patiently. So they are very happy about it, Ajaan.
I'm very happy to hear that too. Happy to be of service to you, to your sister.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Yes. That's all for today. I'll join next week as well, Ajaan.
Okay, thank you for your question.
So much.
All right. Dr.V, are you back now? Okay, Dr.V, it's your turn.
Sadhu, Bhante. Ajaan, how are you doing?
Good, just like before.
No, it's interesting you told like one of the questions that the suffering or stress we kind of have is proportionate to the craving, amount of craving in a subtle way. Whatever, if you have a little bit of suffering, that means you are still having craving going on in your system. So more suffering you have for you is more craving. So I did suffer from, it's a new definition called rose suffering. One of my rose plants died, eaten by a mouse at the bottom, very big plant. So I was expecting, so a lot of flowers. So my expectations, the whole plant came down, just a small mouse. I think that's what Buddha said. Don't underestimate a small snake, small fire, small prince, or a small monk. So small things can do a lot of damage.
That's
and
right.
when you have expectations, you have a lot of suffering. So this is the new suffering I have called rose suffering.
You forget the law of anicca.
Yeah.
Impermanent.
So cut it to the bottom. No, it's just it's a good explanation. What did he say? Sorry.
I said you forget the law of anicca, impermanent.
Anicca.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything rises and ceases.
So it slipped my mind. I think so. The nature of the beauty of everything.
Of existence. Anything exists will be non-exist sooner or later.
Even the suffering. Yeah.
Suffering
So
arises
suffering
from your
too can be
attachment. Suffering arises from your attachment for things to exist forever.
Good contemplation. Thank you so much. Sadhu.
Okay.
Thank you,
Is that all? You have to go back to work?
That's it. That's it.
Okay. All right. Nice talking to you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sadhu.
Okay,
Okay, nice talking.
We have two more participants that we have to deal with. B Ravin from Bangkok. You're next. You may have to do a quick talk today because we only have a few minutes left.
Sorry for joining late today. I had a company event earlier. I'll just be a very quick one. Fourth precept is only not to lie, or the slander and rude speech is considered part of it. I think I may have asked you, but I forgot.
I think in the precept it only means false speech, falsehood. Don't speak falsehood. But as far as being speaking with foul language, this is more for higher practitioner like monks, bhikkhuni. They have to maintain a more respectable posture, so they have to speak very nicely all the time.
So it's just a false speech, and if we cannot avoid it, we should just keep quiet and not say anything.
That's right. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
Okay.
I will come back next week.
Go to Sulan. You haven't been here last week either. Can you unmute your microphone, Sulan?
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, good to see you. How are you?
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, so
Yeah.
okay.
You have any question?
Yeah. I think my question is, I think somewhat similar with Pia's, which is like having like expectation, then it brings about disappointment and sometimes even anger. Then like how can we deal with that?
Then what?
Like when we have expectation and then it's not met, then we feel disappointed. But it's not all the time that we can remember it's anicca. So what can we do when we are feeling angry, when we cannot remember anicca?
When you're angry and you cannot remember anicca, how to get rid of your anger?
Yeah.
Stop thinking about the things that caused you to become angry. recite Bhutto, Bhutto, recite the mantra. Try to bring your mind away from the subject that caused you to have anger. Instead of thinking of the subject, you think of Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. And eventually you'll forget what you were angry at, and then the anger will disappear. But this is a temporary fix, because when you go back and think about the subject again, it can cause you to become angry again. So the best, if you want to do it permanently, fix it permanently, then you have to change your expectation, give up your expectation. Don't expect anything. Then you will not be disappointed or angry when you don't get what you expect. Because everything is anatta. You have to look at everything as anatta, not under your control. You cannot expect things to go according to the way you want it all the time. Then this will fix your problem permanently. If you have no expectation, then you will not have any disappointment. When you don't have any disappointment, you won't get any angry. You won't get any anger. Right?
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
That will do for now. Okay, I have another person waiting.
Thank
Maha
you, Ajahn.
Sutasana. Maha Sutasana, you want to turn on your video? Please unmute your microphone. Where are you from?
I'm from India.
From India,
I,
okay.
yeah,
Can I
last
help
week,
you? Can I help you?
no, Ajahn, I don't have anything.
Okay, just listening in. Okay, good. Then we're running out of time, so I have to go now to another person for more question. Okay.
Okay.
Go to Kunju. How many questions we have tonight?
Namaskaran. We have 3 questions this evening so far. And the first question is from the assistant Gmail, and the rest 2 are from Facebook. The first question from Ku from Malaysia. My wife was recently diagnosed with breast cancer grade 2 and will be having surgery soon. With this recent diagnosis, she felt strongly that she was instrumental in causing her father's illness to deteriorate, leading to his father's death about a month later, after she had mistreated him. Therefore, this causes her to suffer this cancer. Her father was bedridden and suffered from Parkinson's, and my wife was tasked to single-handedly take care of her father, as her mother had to take care of the business and other siblings were either working or studying overseas. I told her that karmic reactions don't work as she thinks, but she is currently very worried and is recently experienced with insomnia. Could Ajahn please give advice to her on this, especially on the karmic reaction part?
Well, the Buddha said that to analyze karma is impossible for unenlightened people like us. So don't try to analyze the karmic effect on things, but instead we should focus on the 3 characteristics of existence, that everybody who is born will get old, get sick, and die, regardless of their karma. So this is what I would tell her. Just think about the anicca, dukkha, anatta. Once you are born, you are all subjected to aging, sickness, and death, regardless of what you do or not do.
The next question is from Meta Vandana. Can Ajahn tell me what are the allowable food items for the 8th preceptor for the afternoon eating?
Oh, this you have to consult with people who keep the 8 precepts. I usually don't need anything after I finish eating. I only drink water. This is the best way to keep the 8 precepts. Don't eat anything after you finish your meal except drinking plain water.
And the last question is from Lee Tekwa. Hi, Tanajan. Is it okay for me to just maintain mindfulness during my daily activities without doing sitting meditation? Thank you.
If you do mindfulness, you only get half of the result. If you want full result, you have to meditate. That's when the mind will become completely calm and still. If you don't meditate, you only get partial calm from being mindful.
That is all, Ka.
Okay. That's about all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is beneficial to you and can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุ
Thank you.
Thank you, Tanajan. Good night, everyone.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you.
Thank
Miss.
you.
Good night,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night.